Hey, welcome to episode 1 of Legion's new cooking show. I don't really think we have a title.
Sure, Legion's cooking show.
We don't have a title yet.
That works.
Yeah, so we'll introduce ourselves in a little bit because this program is for you, our Legion members. We want to teach you how you can cook, how food doesn't have to taste like garbage, and in fact that it's really simple. So for those who don't know me, I'm Bob Thompson. I'm the CEO and founder of Legion Transformation Center. I have absolutely no skill when it comes to the kitchen. And then I'm here with the amazing Diana, who hopefully you'll share your story with them.
Sure, just
I love
when you want to do that.
I'll have you do it in a little bit.
Okay.
So Diana's going to share her story, but Diana's been with this company for quite a while, and she is an expert when it comes to the kitchen with making food taste delicious, with not making it overcomplicated. And we want to show you today exactly how you can do that today here. So, sound good?
Sounds good.
So before we get into it, because I don't even know what we're making. I have zero idea what's going on here. So we're going to be learning this at the same time, which is going to be fun. Which means if I can do it, anybody can.
True.
Before we get into the food, why don't you tell them a little bit about your story? Because I think you have a really, really awesome transformation story yourself. And then that way we can get into it.
Okay. So yeah, I'm Diana. I started with Legion back in September of 2014. I was in the very first challenge group that Legion ever had. This guy right here was actually my coach.
Back in the day.
Yeah, so I came to Legion because I had gained weight when I was pregnant with my son. I've never been heavy in my life, and I was. So I saw the ad on Facebook, took a chance, sat there at orientation for about an hour and a half, and signed up. So I did the challenge. I fell in love with it instantaneously, and I noticed the people around me were using me as their measure for how they were working out, and I was kind of like, wait, what's going on right now? I got dubbed the workout bitch by my classmates, and I was so pumped with it because I was in a bad marriage, I was fat, I was miserable, and this challenge gave me the opportunity to get back to me, basically, and I was loving every minute of it. So apparently I was motivating everybody, and I was trying to figure out how to stay in the gym because I had no money and my ex wouldn't pay for it. So I said, Bob, how do I stay?
Yeah.
And he had me be an admin for a little while. And then in February of 15, there was a trainer position open. So I joined the team officially. And then a few years later, I started running Westchester and ran Westchester for a couple of years. And then last year, when FitFX came into being, Bob asked me to run that. So whatever the man needs, that's what I'm doing.
And so it's been 5 years, and today you're going to teach us how to cook.
Yes.
So I'm really excited about it. So what are we making today?
So we're gonna make some brown rice, some ground beef mixture, and some veggies. I like to make things simple by combining things. So we're gonna make a bunch of rice, make a bunch of veggies and meat. You can use them separately, you can mix them with other things, you can mix them together. So I figured that was nice and easy.
Are we making just one meal, or are we going to make multiple?
Oh, and we're making dessert too. So
okay. With this, how many servings is it going to be? For normal humans, not the people that eat as much as I do, by the way.
Probably about 5 or 6. I usually measure after the fact.
Okay.
I make a big pot of it, and then I just weigh it. I got my food scale over here, which we can go over if you guys want. I make a big bowl of everything and then just scoop it out as I need it.
So the reason I wanted to bring that up is because we're going to be making this meal, which has relatively 2 ingredients outside of the spices that she's going to teach us how to use and how they go together. And her unique way of doing that, it's really simple to do from my brief understanding that we talked about prior to recording this. But with one thing that's going to take us, do you have an idea how long this is going to take to make? In a kitchen you've never used before?
Oh, yeah, I don't do gas ever, so if I burn anything...
We'll find out.
I would say, I don't know, like a half an hour.
Cool. So in 30 minutes, we're going to make about 6 meals, 5, 6, 7 meals, depending on really what your portions are. And maybe throughout this, that's what I'll do is I'll kind of teach you a little bit of how we advise our clients and our members to portion out their foods without having to count calories. Of course, you want to do that, that's great. You can still do that here as well. But we like to use just simple portion sizes to figure out how much we need to eat. And we like to keep this super simple because everybody's busy. I mean, you're a single mother. If you're not able to make this super fast, then she's not going to be able to make anything for her and her family. So let's dig in. Why don't you teach us everything we're doing? And walk us through. Oh, fine.
Sorry, you made me think of this. So The easy way to do it without using a food scale and things like that is to just cook everything separate, which is what we're going to do today. And then you just portion out what your portions are based on whatever program you are following.
Okay,
Make
cool.
sense? Okay.
All right, so we're cooking individually.
All right, so first thing is the rice. Some people may not know how to make rice,
Yeah.
at least the proper way.
I don't know. So what's the proper way?
So it doesn't come out either undercooked or mush.
So I use a lot of instant rice. I guess we're not using instant rice.
What's that, the microwave one? No.
No, like the one, boil it, put it in, 5 minutes later it's ready.
Oh, yeah, no, this is like the 15-minute rice, 20-minute rice.
Okay.
So rice first.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a cup of rice. For those of you that don't know, it's really easy. 1 cup equals about 3 made. And then for every cup, you double the water. So it's 1 cup to 2 cups water. Actually, can you hand me that pot?
What do you need?
The pot.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing, so just walk me through
Okay.
in this
You're my
kitchen.
assistant in the kitchen.
All right.
I get to Bob as my assistant this time.
We'll do it.
All right, so I find just getting this to these different burners.
Yeah, so the burner right here will be this one.
Okay,
This one doesn't work.
good to know. All right, so we're just gonna let that sit there and boil.
Okay.
Um,
So while that one's boiling, we're gonna make the beef or turkey.
veggies, and yes, it's beef. It's
Oh.
93.7, so it's nice and lean.
Okay.
So we got some peppers and some mushrooms.
All right.
So I just want to show you guys how a really easy way to cut a pepper, because I feel like peppers have all the bumps and a little weird.
I have no idea how to cut pepper.
Yeah, so I'll show you 2 different ways because I don't like to waste things, but if you want to make it really easy,
Okay.
you just cut the top. Can you see that?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
Just-
I can.
Okay, that's, I'm in Andrew.
Oh,
All right, so cut the top. Can you grab the bag over there, the trash can?
no. Yep.
So cut the top, pop it right off, nice and easy. And then cut the bottom. And then all you need to do is cut it on one side down. And you can just peel it, essentially.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, makes it a little bit easier, nice and easy to cut.
I attempted cutting a pepper one time, and it took me probably 18 times as long as you just did.
Well, in one of my former lives, I had a very good friend who was a private personal chef, so I learned a lot of tricks, and that's one of them.
Ah.
So this is another thing, those of you out there who don't like cutting things, this is my best friend for food prep. It's a chopper. So they chop everything. This blade here can come in 2 different sizes usually. So I use it for meat, I use it for peppers, I use it for potatoes, I use it for everything. So just take everything and cut them in little chunks. I like to cut everything out first. I'm a realist.
Moseying around this kitchen.
All right.
So you're chopping it up super small. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. Because the nice thing about this, so what I'll actually do when I food prep is I'll cut a bunch of stuff, like, I don't know, Sunday's my food prep day.
Yeah.
And I'll cut a whole big bowl of peppers. I use peppers in everything.
Yeah.
So I use these for scrambled eggs. I use them in salads. So I'll just take this chopper and chop up a whole bunch of peppers.
And if you don't have a chopper, you just cut it up.
Yeah. Do you want me to show you guys how to show?
Let's show. Yeah, let's
that?
show without having a chopper because I know I don't have a chopper.
Okay.
So
They're
you're-
like 10 to 20 bucks at Bed Bath & Beyond or Amazon. So if you aren't good at cutting, this is a huge time saver.
Is it gonna make such a big difference though if it's not perfect? Probably not, right?
Well, no, it doesn't matter about being perfect in terms of the cooking. It's just honestly more of a time saver. And if you
Okay.
aren't, like some people are weird about chopping, I've
Yeah.
discovered. So that's one thing that you can do. Just put it over there. And then the other way to cut a pepper is I like to find that little line right there and just kind of cut it in half and then kind of circle around it. That way you're not wasting as much.
Okay.
Just really depends on what you want to do.
And then just achieve the same thing. Anyway.
Yeah, it's literally achieving the same thing, just different ways of doing it. You shouldn't have to cut that off if you don't want to, but
Okay.
it doesn't taste very good.
And this is, I mean, how many total ingredients are we gonna be using in today? I say like
2,
peppers,
3,
mushrooms, rice,
4
and beef.
main ingredients, and then plus whatever seasoning you want. So yeah, peppers, mushrooms, beef, and rice. That's it.
And for all of this, how much did it cost when you went to the store for just the main ingredients?
Beef is like $8. Bag of rice was $2. and then like $5 for the veggies.
So about $15 all in, and we're gonna get over 5 meals, so less than $3 a meal.
Yep.
We're doing this, and so 30 minutes, $3 a meal, and you're eating healthy.
Yes.
Awesome.
So chopping, cut it in strips. Watch your fingers. I don't cut the proper way. You're supposed to bend your hands like this, but I can't do that, so I just watch my fingers.
Good thing you're not a professional chef. I would probably do it the right way, but that's just me.
After you're done chopping the peppers, we're going to throw them in the pan. Throw a little bit of oil. I like avocado oil because it has higher heat resistance.
Compared to olive oil?
Compared to olive oil, yeah.
Okay.
So olive oil is supposed to be a really great oil for you, but when it gets too high, the chemical composition actually changes.
Okay.
So avocado oil goes to like 500, I think. And I think olive oil is like 350. So I have a good bottle of olive oil at home for like salads, cold dishes, things that you want that flavor for. But this has all the same nutrients and higher heat resistance.
Awesome.
So just
Now, you're not measuring it out at all. You're just eyeing it up. But you've also done this for a while. So
Yes.
you cook all the time. You're used to it, so you're eyeing it up. So for anybody else, obviously keep on doing it.
Yeah.
You might want to measure it out just in case.
you want to use like for this. So what we're gonna do is put some oil in the pan just so nothing sticks.
Okay.
I would use.
So don't just dump it in? Like, don't just turn it over?
What the meat?
That. Like, you don't.
No, well, I mean, no, we don't. We use the oil so the peppers and everything else doesn't burn.
Got it.
So I just do a little splash. So I would say measuring wise, you're probably looking at like, I don't know, no more than a half a tablespoon, if that.
Okay.
If you don't want to use oil, if you don't want the extra fats, you can use Pam cooking oil spray. It's great. Everything, nothing sticks. Doesn't taste funny.
And it's mindful of the calories, and that's one of the things that we have noticed is a lot of time when people are making food, they might be eating really healthy, but they're not accounting for all the additional calories they're getting from the oils and the dressings and everything like that. That kind of sneaks up on a lot of us without even realizing it. I know I'm guilty of that. Like, I probably, if you didn't show me how much to use just now, I would have coated the entire thing in it.
Which,
And not realizing just adding a ton of calories.
yeah, so 1 tablespoon is 14 grams of fat and 120 calories. So that, and if
And
you're
that's
coating, that's probably going to be at least 2 tablespoons.
So right there is an easy way, like, if you are doing everything right, you're still not seeing progress, a lot of those add-ins are just something to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
Cool.
And if you're counting macros or like, I don't know, I like avocados. So if I'm going to put an avocado in my omelet, I want a half an avocado, which is like 30 grams of fat.
Okay.
So I not use oil.
Yep.
Save my fats for something else.
Should I turn this on? Or just leaving it right now?
You can turn it on low.
I'm just trying to feel useful. There we go. So we're using both the peppers.
Yeah.
Is there a reason why red and green?
Green has less sugar content in terms
Okay.
of what carb it's made of,
Yep.
or how you want to say that. And I like the different flavors. Green is a little bit, I guess, bitter for lack of a better word.
Okay.
Green's a little bit bitter. So rice is boiling. We're gonna turn it down and just let it cook on low.
Cool. So it stays cooking the entire time.
Stays cooking, and try not to open it a lot and stir because
Okay.
you want the moisture to get soaked up in there. Every time you open the lid, the steam comes out.
I did not know that.
Yes.
I always open and stir. That's also probably why I use minute rice a lot of the times.
There you go. Yeah, I think it gives more flavor to use the
Okay.
red and the green.
Okay.
It definitely has more of a bite with the
Yeah.
green. But, and again, then it's the reason it has a bite is because it has less sugar.
Okay.
But interestingly enough, a red pepper starts out as a green pepper in the garden.
I did
And then it
hear
changes color.
that. There we go.
Yeah, I had a garden once.
Once.
Yeah.
So now we're going to be adding the mushrooms to the same pot?
Yep.
Okay.
Throw it all in one pot. I chop these up too, just kind of loose chop them. Doesn't have
You don't have to
be
put them in
too
the chopper?
No, I use the chopper at home because I think it's faster.
Okay.
But you don't have to.
Okay.
You really just whatever you want to do. That's too much effort for you, then that's fine.
Or if you just don't have it.
Or you
Don't think
have
that if you don't have it, you can't make this. This is really what I was going to do.
Absolutely.
Like, there's always an alternative to figure it out.
Yeah, when I did my challenge, I did not have a chopper. I just kind of actually got converted by a family member who had one at the beach.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't need extra equipment. I'll just
Yeah.
chop it by hand.
Just
And then if you're spending the day food prepping, that's when it can be a time saver.
Yeah.
And so for me, once I got on board with it, I was like, oh, yeah, this is a time saver.
So we've talked about meal prep a few times. Meal prep is just a really easy and simple way to prepare your meals. So we're kind of doing meal prep right now.
Yes.
But when you're prepared and you have all those tools ready, especially if you're changing the way you eat completely or trying to get a little bit better at eating, when you have that stuff in front of you, easily accessible, you're going to be more likely to stick to whatever your nutrition plan is.
Yep.
So when we talk about meal prep or meal planning or anything like that nature, we're talking about making multiple meals, whether it be 3 days worth, a whole week's worth, or anything like that at one time. Some people spend an entire day doing it. Some people might spend like just a quick afternoon right now doing it, and then spending another day putting it together. So when we're talking meal prep, that's just what we mean, is having food ready for your meals whenever you're, whenever you're on the go
Yeah.
or at home.
I think everyone likes to do it a little bit different. I
Yeah.
like to spend the day cooking. Weekends are my home day, or like Sunday. I'm home all day, I'm doing laundry, I'm cleaning the house, get it all done, because once the week starts, I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You might call and need me for something.
Nah.
Julian might get sick.
Yeah.
So, let's give it a little stir.
And I'm the opposite, whereas I don't really, it's tough. I don't sit down and just like spend a whole day cooking. I'll usually try to spend at least an hour, 2 hours to make 3 to 4 days worth of food at a time.
Okay.
But usually it's just super bland. It's not like this at all.
Yeah.
Which is probably why I don't plan the whole week, because my food's not good.
And I'll rotate, so I might do the same meal just because it's easy. I'll make the same thing for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Okay.
And then when I get bored, I'll switch to something else.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because when I get home at night, if I'm tired, I'm not cooking.
Yeah.
And I won't do it.
And that's for a lot of people where they find themselves having trouble. If they don't have that food, they don't want to cook, they just had a super long day, something came up, then they're just going to go and eat that garbage that's quickly and easily available.
Yes.
And this will satisfy. And then you also start conditioning yourself once you're used to it.
Yeah. Now, that could actually be an episode we could do, is what do you do when you have nothing prepped? If anyone's interested in that, I can also show you guys what you do.
We'll save that for another one for
really
sure. That would be
easy.
good. But this is, as we're meal prepping, so we're making 6 meals out of this. Let's say you're eating 3 meals a day, and this could just be your whole week's worth of dinners. This could be your whole week's worth of lunches.
Yes,
and then
absolutely.
you just pick 2 other dishes, and then you have your breakfast, lunch, and dinners for the entire week.
Yes.
If done. Oh, now we're getting complicated.
Look,
Just kidding.
you don't have to season stuff if you don't want to.
Okay.
I've watched Bob eat chicken, probably just on the grill without seasoning, I'm guessing.
Yes.
I can't do it. Cannot do it. I need seasoning. So I'm going to show you guys some stuff with seasoning. If you're not a seasoned person, if you have a plainer palate, just don't use it. And again, I kind of eyeball everything. I know I'm used to doing this. I know what I like. So I like a lot of garlic, but you may not. So I can give you some suggestions on measurements, but it really kind of comes down to what you like.
So this is just more of a season to taste at this point.
Pretty much, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Just season to taste. So, just throw some garlic in there. And if you don't know how to cook and you find that you're tired of food and you're bored, garlic, black pepper go a long way. They're really, really easy things to use.
That's
So,
strong.
got some garlic, some onion powder, black pepper.
Okay.
Can you hand me that cumin right there? Yep. So I'm going to give this a little bit of maybe a Southwest flair.
Okay.
You could make it Italian, you could make it Southwest, you can make it Asian by using different seasonings.
Okay.
And that's actually another way to take something, the same 5 ingredients, and use them in a different way because...
Just change the seasoning.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. Should I stir this, or should I do anything?
Sure, give it a stir. I never put
Alright,
anything.
put me to use. Am I keeping this on this medium or medium low?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I find that gas goes really quick.
Okay.
And one thing with developing flavors is that if you cook it a little bit lower, it'll absorb things a little bit more.
Okay.
If you're in a rush, turn up the heat and just get it done.
Well, that's good because I usually will just crank stuff up to cook it as fast as possible so I can get it done. I just want to eat. I don't want to for me, I'm not like a lot of people where they get a ton of enjoyment out of cooking, like you.
I love cooking.
So I'm just let me get it done so I have my meals and so I can do other stuff.
Yeah. But I will say when I started at Legion, I did not know how to cook more than 3 things.
Okay.
So I ate chicken with balsamic vinegar and garlic every night for dinner, and I had scrambled eggs and peppers every morning because I did not like eggs, but I know I needed the protein.
Yeah.
And with the peppers, it made it crunchy.
Cool.
So I didn't know how to cook, and I just, over the years, figured it out.
Yep.
So we're going to dump that in there.
And how much is that per, which one?
That one,
About a pound each, pound 20 each?
1.2 pounds.
Okay, so they're both about, 1.2 pounds.
Yeah.
And you're going to put it all in here? Both?
Well, I'm going to
Two?
start with one.
Okay.
Because I wasn't sure what it was going to come out to. I've actually made this in a while, but I knew it'd be super simple.
Cool.
And then so I'm going to just mush that up and get that stirring.
Got it.
That'll work.
Like, just mush it up and stir.
Yeah.
I think I can handle that. And this is pretty much it. Like, so then after this, after it all cooks,
Yeah.
this is the actual meal that you have.
Yeah.
Stuff everywhere.
You can use other veggies. You can use more veggies if you want to portion it differently. You can use more meat, less, any way that you want to do it.
Yeah.
And I do the peppers and the veggies first because you'll get more flavor out of the peppers if you cook them a little bit first.
Okay.
But you don't have to.
So now pretty much all that's left in this thing is just to kind of stir this a little bit. That's just sitting there, and then
Yes.
this just has to cook. And then once it cooks,
Yeah.
you just divvy it up.
Pretty much.
Cool.
And since this is 93.7, so in case people don't know this, the leaner the meat, the faster it cooks.
Okay.
And because there's less fat content, you don't want it to dry out.
So then it's just disgustingly boring and bland.
The texture sucks.
Is
You
it
ever had
jerky?
overcooked chicken?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I cook is overcooked chicken all the time. So I'm very used to overcooked
It's
food.
not supposed to be like beef jerky.
Many times I have put chicken in the oven and walked away and forgotten about it, and it is like hard as a brick.
Yep.
I'll still eat it though.
Well, I probably would too.
So-
With a little mustard. For me.
I hate mustard.
I can't eat plain chicken. I can't do it. Steak, I could eat plain all
Yeah.
day, but I cannot eat plain chicken.
So should I keep stirring this, or should I just let it sit?
You can let it sit for a while. It's all mixed
it,
up really
yeah.
well. We can let that sit.
Okay.
We can throw a second pound in there.
Yeah. So we have enough space. This is obviously a bigger pan. If they don't have enough bigger pan,
Yeah.
you just don't use as much.
And since I eyeball everything, I kind of have to do it as I go because I might end up with not enough veggies or I don't know.
What I think that's really cool to note is you said you eyeball everything. You didn't know how to cook just 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And still probably not until a couple years ago that you actually kind of like started picking into it.
Yeah.
So if you don't know how to cook, if you've never cooked before, one of the reasons we chose this simple meal is so that you can do it. Is don't kind of let the fear of I can't cook, I'm not a good cook hold you back, or I don't know how to do any of this stuff, because you can kind of just mess around, and as long as those foods are kind of there, you'll be all right.
Well, and that's kind of how I learned to make things because I was a picky eater. I'm somewhat still a picky eater, but I was like, all right, what do I do with chicken?
Yeah.
Every week, what the hell do I do with chicken? Single mom, couldn't afford the steak that I like to eat.
Uh-oh.
So,
I'm just knocking stuff out.
oh, okay. So I had to get creative, and I would just start, once I started looking at food in a different way, which for me was a huge shift because I was very picky. I was very weird about, veins in chicken and,
Yeah.
that smells weird or it looks weird or it's touching something else that I don't already eat, which made it very limiting for me. But as I started looking at food as, but this is going to help me with, my physique, the way that
Yeah.
I'm leaning out. This is going to reach my goals better. I started
Looking at it as the fuel, not just as it tastes.
Exactly. That made it easier to kind of start branching out with what I did. And then I just started playing with shit in the kitchen. Like, seasonings aren't expensive. Just buy a bunch of stuff, mix it up, try something different. Like, I'll make a chicken marinade.
Yeah.
And whether I use oregano or rosemary, it's
That's it.
completely different. Yes, that's it. So the idea with this is if you look, and I don't know if you can get into that, but how red it is, that's raw. So you want it to be brown. As soon as it's brown, we're done.
Okay.
Pretty much it.
So now it's just a waiting game for it to finish up.
Pretty much. So what I like to do, so I did the rice first because I know that's going to take a while.
Yeah.
Let that simmer, keep stirring, and if there's other dishes that I'm making, then I'll start working on that stuff now.
Okay, cool.
So we could
Do
start
you want to
do
sweet?
the dessert.
Awesome. So let's do dessert.
That's out of the way. So dessert, I'm curious if you're going to try this or not because I know how much you like Greek yogurt.
I like Greek yogurt as long as it has flavor.
Oh, okay.
So as long as we add something to it, which I'm assuming we will,
Yes.
then I'm probably going to do it.
Okay, because I just remember you like, put that away, it stinks.
I hated Greek yogurt. I used to just, I couldn't do the texture, I couldn't do the smell.
Yes.
But same thing, once you kind of get over it, it gets a little bit better.
Well, and so people always talk about, I'm a sweet tooth. I hear that a lot with people in this program. And I don't consider myself to be a sweet tooth person because I don't like candy and cake and that kind of stuff. Chocolate is not a sweet. It is not candy.
Yeah.
It's chocolate.
Yeah.
And I have grown to really start to eat the dark chocolate. As I did this program, I got way more away from sugar.
Okay.
So my taste buds changed.
Yeah.
So I like dark chocolate. Now, for those of you that don't know, chocolate is basically dark chocolate, which comes from the cocoa nib, and then
Yeah.
they add sugar and milk products to make it sweet.
So that's okay. But otherwise, it's super bitter.
super bitter.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, so, but
Yeah.
I kind of like that. So what I did is cacao powder is basically, it's ground up chocolate,
Okay.
essentially. One good thing about this is it's high in magnesium and iron.
Well, before we get into that, what are we actually
Oh,
making?
sorry.
Because I have no idea. I have an I actually
Chocolate
I should
pudding.
say I have an idea, but why don't you explain exactly what we're doing, all the
Okay.
stuff that you're going to put in, and also to know we're doing this while your main meal is cooking.
Mm-hmm.
And this is still going to be a healthy option for you. We can kind of probably break down the macros.
Yeah.
But yeah, so kind of walk us through exactly what you
Stir
plan.
that while I talk.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna make a dessert, basically. I got lost in the chocolate there, don't mind me. But the point of this was, I know a lot of us at night, we want something sweet. And what do? We feel guilty when we cheat and things like that. This is actually a dessert that will not screw up your macros, not screw up your diet, not make you feel guilty, and it will actually help you recover and get additional nutrients. So we're making a glutamine maple syrup pudding, basically.
So, and for those that don't know, the maple syrup flavor is actually protein powder.
Yeah.
So we're using Greek yogurt, I see, protein powder, glutamine, which would probably be optional if you don't have that. And then, how do you pronounce it? Cacao powder?
There is cocoa powder, which
Okay.
is like what you would use to make hot chocolate. That's going to have a higher sugar content.
So these are different.
Cacao powder and cocoa powder are two different things.
I did not know that.
Yes.
Okay.
It's just the A and the O at the end. But again, like I was saying, cacao powder is high in iron and magnesium and lots of antioxidants. So it gives me the cheat of dark chocolate, and I struggle to get iron in.
Okay. So it gives you
it's-
that.
Yeah.
Got it.
So
So a lot of people do suffer from that.
it kills my energy levels, and for me, with I have fibromyalgia, so I constantly have tight muscles.
Okay.
And then working out makes it even tighter.
Yeah.
So recovery is a huge deal, and magnesium actually really helps that.
Okay.
And magnesium can actually help calm the brain at night,
Yeah.
which I learned after my concussion.
That'll do.
So magnesium and iron are something that I focus a lot on.
So there's your excuse to get some chocolate.
Yeah, the little spoon right there.
Oh.
I don't need the plate. That was just
Is that plate here?
So that is no, it's mine. It's called
Oh.
a trivet. I'm gonna teach you. It's called a trivet.
Okay.
It's your spoon rester because sometimes you can burn the.
You should have told me that in the beginning, so I don't burn this place down.
But it's my stuff. I know you're not gonna burn it with this.
Well, I don't.
But yeah, so
And I
there you
didn't
go.
even know
So
that.
that's called a trivet. It's a dish for your spoon when you're cooking.
Okay. So if you don't have a trivet, just get a dish.
Just get a dish. Yeah.
Get a dish, put your spoon.
Just get a dish.
Got it.
But I got that in North Carolina at the beach, and I thought it was pretty.
It was nice.
And
It's very nice. Yeah. It works.
All
So
right.
you're just stirring around the Greek yogurt a little bit,
Yes.
throwing it in, and you're just eyeing it up right now.
Yeah. One container is 4 cups.
Okay.
So I eat a lot of Greek yogurt.
Okay.
So we're just gonna eyeball that. But generally, if you want to measure it, measure a cup.
Okay. Now, do you use this because this is going to be sweet? Is this kind of like your go-to at night? But it can also be used because of pretty much the makeup. It can be used as almost a meal for some people.
So this actually was born out of one night at the end of the night being short on protein
Okay.
and iron and needing to hit my macros.
Got it. There
And
you
I was
go.
like, I need a lot of protein and not a lot of carbs, fats, or calories. So what the hell do I eat? So I just poked around the kitchen.
Got it.
I like yogurt for a lot of different reasons, but what I do like about this, and I use it mostly at night because it's a sweet treat at night.
Yeah.
And I put the glutamine in it, and by adding the glutamine, that's good for recovery.
Yep.
And it makes it thicker. With the extra powder in there, it makes it thicker,
Oh,
so
really?
you get more of a pudding
Got it,
consistency.
okay.
So that was my experience. So I lost my scooper. Scoop of glutamine. I figured that's close enough. It's glutamine, it doesn't really matter.
I have a scoop right here. Could have just,
It's in there.
but it's in there. It is what it is.
And then I do about a half-ish scoop of maple.
Okay.
Again, flavor.
Yeah, and this is adding by just doing half a scoop. Those that aren't familiar with this, it's going to add about 12 grams of protein.
Yeah.
And if you go full scoop, 24 grams.
Yes.
And it's already adding into the decent protein content of the Greek yogurt.
And when mixing powder, so you don't puff it everywhere, make a huge mess.
Yeah.
A little bit at a time. Stir and
I feel like you're
stir.
calling me out right now.
I just
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Hit me on the
I want to
soul.
make sure that everyone knows.
Got it.
Don't you make a mess in your kitchen.
All right. So this thing is browning over here, by the way, too.
All right, that looks pretty good. I think we're good. Let's just pop that off the heat for a minute.
Okay.
And we can check the rice. How we doing the rice? Rice is getting there. I'm gonna turn the heat up just a little bit.
And this, are you just eating it just like this after you stir it? You're good? Or are you gonna do anything with it?
You can just eat it and
Okay.
eat it. You can refrigerate it.
People put it in the freezer?
That was where I was going with this. So
Okay.
silicone ice
Silicone.
cube trays.
Okay.
So silicone, it's like a rubber.
Yeah.
But the ice cube trays, and the reason to not use a regular ice cube tray is it can be harder to pop out.
Okay.
Silicone cleans up easier, and it's easier to pop out.
Could I just put that in there? In the freezer? It'd be fine?
You could, but if it freezes solid, because it's not.
Stab it a lot and get it out.
There you go.
Yeah.
You could blend this. You could throw some
Okay.
ice cubes in it and make like a little ice creamy frappuccino
Okay.
kind of a thing.
Cool.
Lots of different options that you could do. Where's your spoon? Do you have some more spoons?
Yeah.
So 1 serving of the cacao powder is 2.5 tablespoons.
Okay.
It's 60 calories, 1.5 grams of fat, 4 grams of protein, 8 grams of carbs.
Per what? Per
serving.
Okay.
And we're going to
Cool.
use a whole serving. But it's 5 grams of fiber, so
Awesome.
it's not like sugar carbs.
Yeah.
And for those of you that don't know, like a cereal spoon is about 1 tablespoon.
I'm just throwing it in there. And then
Yeah.
just gonna stir it up.
Stir it up, yep.
Okay.
Yeah. And again, you could adjust this. You could do more chocolate, you could do less chocolate, you could do more protein, you could do less protein.
And that's just gonna be
depending
your
on how
flavor
you
taste.
taste. Yeah.
Or even if you are tracking your macros, what it's gonna fit in your macros.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, if you do not like bitter, if you want to grab that bag of stevia over there so I can show them what that is. Stevia is a natural sweetener, so it won't affect you regardless of what program you're following, counting macros, losing weight. It's just a white powder.
Yeah. Are you using it?
Well, we can.
I'm not a big sweet tooth person, so
Okay.
I personally don't need it.
I don't use it.
Okay.
I like,
But if they wanted to, they just grab stevia and add it in.
yes. So if you don't like, if you're a milk chocolate person, basically, you might want the stevia.
But adding in the protein powder on top of that anyway,
Yes.
that has the flavoring in it as well, so it's gonna have a little bit of that sweetness too.
Yeah, so for me, the maple syrup, there's plenty extra.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So after you stir that up, you're stirring it violently. Do you just let it sit for a while so it can set, or are you pretty much as good to go?
I just eat it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So,
I will try it.
okay.
Let's find out if this is good or not. That's thick.
Right?
But it's good.
But again, if you take the
That is
glutamine out,
really
it's
good.
not going to be as thick. It gives you more of like a pudding thing going on.
Yeah. I've had it without the cocoa, and it's nowhere near, like, it does actually balance it out because of the sweetness of the protein powder, so that really balances out, and it is definitely thicker because of the glutamine, which is cool.
Yeah.
That's really good. That'll fill me up, too, if I have it as, like, especially as a late night, or if I'm on the run.
Yeah.
In between, so that'd be really good for that.
Absolutely.
We're just about done. Right now, this just has a couple more minutes that it needs to cook. So what we're gonna do is, you're gonna see us in a little bit, we're actually gonna plate it, and at the same time, Dee's gonna go over actually how to portion it up and how you can figure it out.
Yep.
I wanna add too, if you are interested in this recipe, or, you know, because you're gonna tell us a little bit how to actually boil the rice. If you need to learn how to boil rice, you can either follow the instructions on the box, or if you wanna learn how to do that, we're gonna give you step-by-step instructions, both on how to boil the rice, but also how to make everything that we just made here. We'll put it in our blog, and that'll just be linked below. You just got to go there to get more information. So we'll be right back. We're going to finish this up. We're going to plate it. And we're going to show you how to portion it out to hit your goals. This food looks delicious right now, by the way. And it smells, nobody can smell it, but it smells delicious in here too.
That's why I use all the seasoning.
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah, so with the container, I just portioned out about 6 ounces of the meat and then a half a cup of the rice. And you can figure out your carb portions based on what you're doing, but 3/4 cup of rice is about 30 grams of carbs. So it depends on what you want to do with that.
According to this one. So cool.
Yes. That's pretty much it.
So let's try it.
What you
Let's
wanna do?
taste it out.
All right, go for it.
We got the meal ready, so right now we have a plate of each. We also have dessert. Made a little bit of a mess, no big deal. Looks good, smells good. I know that you mentioned there's a ton of different ways that we could do this with extra seasonings. That's up to you. You know, do it to your taste. There's a variety of ways. We just showed you one way. But let's dig in, because now I'm starving. Let's go.
I make this all the time. So
That's really
curious
good.
what you think.
That was really good. So in 30 minutes, we pretty much made 6 meals worth. We got dessert as well, which that would probably last me just a sitting. So we have that, but we have, if we wanted to, we have dinner for the entire week, depending again on your portion sizes. So, Dee, this was awesome. This was delicious. You have anything you'd like to kind of leave with anybody?
Just have fun with it. This shouldn't be complicated. This should taste good. The more things that you can do that you enjoy, the easier it's going to be to stick to a healthy lifestyle.
Awesome. Cool. So we can't wait to keep doing this for you. If you really enjoyed it, we'd love to hear from you. Place your comments below. If you really liked it, obviously give us a like, and then also share this out to everybody else. And again, if you want to get the full recipe, all you got to do is go over to our blog, and that'll be linked below. Thank you so much, and hope this was able to help you.